Hymns lift spirits in this congregation every week. The community considers itself lucky to be inside a church that's intact spiritually and structurally. Unlike the historic churches in Iraq's capital, Baghdad, where there's only silence now. What used to be paint has now turned to peeling flakes. The benches where worshippers used to sit and unload their burdens can barely stay upright. The Virgin Mary Church was built in 1639, and its disrepair makes it look like it hasn't been cared for since then.
The Christian Endowment Office should renovate these churches, but our office is out of money because most of the money is being spent on displaced Christians.
This isn't ISIL vandalism. The state of these landmarks is a result of years of neglect and abandonment. Since 2003, dozens of churches in Iraq have been forced to close because of a lack of funding, security concerns, and rising polarization in the society. The community wants protection and preservation of religious sites. The St. Peter's Church is nearly 100 years old. It was once surrounded by the old streets of central Baghdad. Now the landmark is sinking in a sea of commercial interests. Street vendors are using ancient entrances as storage areas. The ever-expanding market is encroaching on all sides of the once tall standing structure.
Everyone is feeling the pain and sorrow for all these places, especially the ones who saw these churches conducted mass. The harsh reality now is much different from what it used to be.
The government promised an $8 million program last year for the restoration of these 5 historic churches, but they remain just promises, and the hundreds of years of Christian history in Iraq continues to be neglected.
Unfortunately, the Iraqi government is facing multiple crises, wars and major political and religious challenges, especially with the hardline and extreme religious groups. We should exert maximum efforts to find better solutions for these landmarks.
Much of Iraq's history has been erased by years of neglect and fighting. Many Iraqis who live to see the glory days of a multicultural, multi-ethnic and rich religious heritage are afraid that unless priority becomes to preserve and save, all that's left might be lost forever. Osama bin Javed, Al Jazeera, Northern Iraq.